Hello, hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you live from Kalispell, Montana. And today I'd like to welcome you to Junebug's Creative Crush, where we are going to spotlight a different, or put a spotlight or shine a spotlight on, I'm trying to figure out how to word that right. Shine a spotlight on a product that I'm totally crushing on this week. And for each week, then each Thursday, it'll be something different. It could be a bundle like tonight. It could be paper. It could be an embossing folder. It could be a technique. It could be anything that I'm just totally crushing on and enjoying and having fun with and playing with, and want to share that fun and joy with you. So let's see what we are crushing on today. Forgot to move my keyboard out of the way, and I have something in the way here. Oh, all right, here we go. All right, today I am crushing on, or this week I've been crushing on Pretty Poinsettia, the bundle. So these are the stamps and these are the dies, and these are awesome dies. And not only are they awesome dies, they are dies that you can use with the, and I just lost the word, with the, oh, excuse me, let me get my paper. They are with the, it's not even saying it, the impressions die. The impression, yes, they are impression dies. Oh, goodness gracious, I can't believe I totally spaced that word. They are impression dies, so you can use them with the new impressions layer. I can't even, where's my words? I don't know. I don't know where my words went. All right. It's a silicone mat, and it's got the Stampin' Up! Logo on it, and you can see it picks up all the dust, all the hair, all the everything, but it still cuts beautifully. And so what you'll do is you'll use it with your plate 4 and 2, and then we'll put our impressions plate, which is the silicone down, and then our 4. And I'll show you that sandwich when we do it. I should just bring it all over here so that it's done and we don't have to worry about going after it again. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to make 2 cards with you, and then I'm going to show you and tell you a little bit about how I made some others. And then we will also talk a little bit about the Pretty Poinsettia class that ended up being held today. So I was able to get one of the cards done, but I had a leaders meeting. Hi, Sharon. Great to see you on there. Oh, are you crushing on the foil? That's, yeah, I haven't played with that much. I've played with it once. I'm sure that'll be one of my Thursday night crushes. But for today, I decided to kind of this whole week kind of jump on the Christmas in July bandwagon. And so I went with the Pretty Poinsettia dies. And it just turned out that the class for it was today. But I had another meeting smack dab in the middle of the class. And so I wasn't able to finish everything. I got everything prepped. I got everything cut. I'll just show you that right here. So this is for project 2. This is for project 3. And I did get the card made tonight just before coming on here. So this is the card from the Pretty Poinsettia class. And just like the Scenic Coast one, if you order this class, if you do this class and you order the bundle, I will send you the ingredients for making each of the projects. Okay, all the card stock. Okay, just the card stock. You'll need to buy the embellishments. I can actually send you probably some embellishments too, but you'll want to buy the DSP and the bundle, and I will send you the cardstock and the embellishments. And there's even some foil in here so that you can then do the class yourself. All right, so if you buy the class and you buy the bundle and the DSP, then I will send you the cardstock and the foil and the embellishments. Let's see. I'll have to look. I think it's probably going to be the cardstock and the foil, because now that I'm looking at the amount of embellishments, I don't know that that would be a possibility. But they're actually just using the pearls that you probably have and coloring them. Can you see that? They're colored with the dark red Stampin' Blend, real red Stampin' Blend. So that's pretty awesome. All right, you're crushing on the Pooh set. Yep, Sharon, I know you would be. I know you would be. There's only so many Thursdays that I can do, but yeah, that's going to be one of them too, I'm sure. I've only played with it once so far. All right, so we're going to leave this out. I'm going to set this over here. Let's see. And so, like I said, at the end of this, I will show you the other cards that I've made with this suite or with this set, and then we'll talk about what all other things you could do. So the first card that I made was this one with some basic stamping and die cutting. All right. And I used the Country Woods wood paper, one of the darker Country Woods wood paper. Does that look blurry to you all? It kind of looks blurry to me, but I don't know. I've been having some issues with my glasses. It says it's focused, so I'm just going to believe it. I'm just going to, oh yeah. I don't know. These glasses really aren't working for me. My eyes changed. My one eye changed. And so it's been interesting, because the further away I go, the more clear it looks. So it's got to be something with my eyes. But let's go ahead and make this card. I used the Country Woods DSP. And then on this card that we're putting together, I went ahead and I die cut, or I embossed this wood. I chose one of the lighter colored woods, and you can see I embossed it with the older timber 3D, because I just wanted that real good wood feel besides the paper. So we have some crumb cake here. We have the Country Woods wood look paper, and then I added the embossing folder to it. We have, let's see, do I have everything out of there? Everything out of there. These dies, these are from the kit because they're so small, or from the die selection. Because they're so small, I went ahead and already die cut those in the Golden Glow. And this one, this die is from the Scalloped Bloom dies. I only bought the dies because I really like them. Today you've been working on Father's Day paper pumpkin kit. All right, but turning them into masculine birthday cards. That's perfect, Sharon. That's a great kit for doing masculine birthday cards. And I know you've got a number of men in your life that you need cards for, with your son and your dad and your TA and everything. You've got some men that need those cards. So I used this one. I really like it. I used it on a few of my cards, and I thought it was really pretty with that. So that's where I got that from. So let's go ahead and do some stamping first, and then some die cutting. This will just be the regular die cutting. There's no impressions dies in this because we are stamping. Put this over here so we can look. We need 3 poinsettias. So we will start with that. All right, so here is our stamp. You can see it's already well loved. And do one there. So I'm not pressing hard. I'm not putting all my weight on it. I'm just firmly making sure it's completely covered. I re-inked my ink pad last week, I think. And oh my gosh, the color is so much richer. If you haven't inked your pads and you feel like it's not the right color, re-ink them because it makes a world of difference. Oh my goodness. I wish I had something to show you from before when it wasn't inked, re-inked. Because the color was just not there. It looked more orangey or pinkish. All right, so we have that. And then we need some leaves and some pine. And so I used, ta-da, Peaceful Pine. One of our new colors, could be one of my favorite greens for Christmas this year. All right, let's see. And I did these, so we have two different ones, and I did one on this side, one on that side. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we need 5 of those. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to turn it over and use the other one. 4, 5, and then we have the leaves, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those, but different sizes. So I'm going to do a few of the small ones, and you want to just really quickly stamp and pick it up because you want to have those little lines in there. Let me move in for you. You want to have those little lines in there, and if you hold it for too long or you press too firmly, the ink kind of goes together. All right, I need one more. I wonder if I could fit one in there. Maybe we'll give it a whirl. It'll all depend on the die cutting. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, we need some flower centers. And I went ahead and on this card, I did them separate, but I didn't quite like how that looked. So we're just going to stamp them on the flowers this time instead. All right, so there we go. I feel like it kind of goes at that angle. Here we go. All right, so different versions, but I kind of like it better than having that separate die cut. All right, so let's go ahead and die cut the flowers out. I guess I had some extra, better too much than not enough, right? So we're going to bring in our die cut machine. We're going to use plate 1, 2, and 3. I guess I can scroll you out now or zoom out a little bit. All right, we'll start with this one. So we need this die for the flower. Let's see. There we go. That die for the flower. This one does not cut that one. This one cuts this one. And then we have the larger leaves on here. So we'll move that up. You can use a Post-it note to hold them in place if you want. Sometimes I like to do that when I have a whole lot of dies at one time. Or you can get some Post-it note tape. You can use washi tape if you want. I personally don't really like to use washi tape because I like to use my washi tape for, for crafting. So a lot of times I'll just use this. And you just want to be careful that it doesn't pull up your inked image. I just saw that I have it there, so hopefully it'll be fine. All right, and then we can use that other one. On here. And the little one here. I like to put as much as possible on my plate so that I only have to run it through once, or so I don't have to run it through as many times. So you can see here, I've got a whole lot of dyes, everything that I need. All right, where's my top one? Okay, I'm gonna put that in here. We're gonna run it through. Everybody hold still. All right. So now we have one of these little pine boughs. Then we have a poinsettia. Don't want to lose that. Not used to going live at night, so forgive me if I feel a little bit discombobulated because I'm just not used to the evening lives. But I wanted to be able to do it in the evening when people are home from work and they just want to kind of kick back and watch something and get some creative inspiration. So here we are. Just might take me a moment or two to get into it. All right. And then we're going to pop these two off. There we go. And there we go. So now we can push this up a little bit, bring this up. This one's going to be over here. Here we go. All right, like that. So, what have you been up to, Sharon? Besides working. All right, who else do we have here? The Diary of Belrose. Hello, happy Thursday to you. Really need to work on these, getting these glasses sorted out. I wanted to find some glasses where I could have the blue light protection on them, and where I get my eyes checked and where I was getting my glasses done, they don't have the blue light. And since I'm on the computer so much, I really kind of felt like I needed that. So, all right, I'm doing great. Well, thank you. It just is taking me a little bit to warm into it. Not used to this. Dinner is over. I'm usually chilling with the folks and not having to use a whole ton of brain power. But for lives, I got to use some brain power. So, and I did not get much sleep last night, so I'm probably a little on the overtired side of things. And so I could be a little punchy and a little weird. Although, I don't know. Sharon would know. She knows. She's known me for a long time. Weird is kind of a normal thing for me, not an abnormal thing for me. So, let's see. We're using that big one. We're using that one. We don't need this one. And we don't need this one. So, let's see. We can do this. Oh, those are too close together. So, we're going to have to hold up on those. All right. Anyone have some fun plans for the weekend? It's almost here. I do. I'm going fishing. I'm going fishing. I'm going to catch my first fish. I'll even catch and release if I need to. I just want to catch a fish. I don't care how big it is. Doesn't have to be the biggest. Just needs to be a caught fish that I can catch and release. All right, we need to use the Post-it tape on this one because it keeps moving on me. There we go. All right. Yep, we're going away for a weekend. Got a little cabin. Well, hotel one night. Friday night, we're actually in a hotel in one town. And then the next day, we're going to go fishing and then check into the cabin further south. Last year, we started choosing to explore our new state each year for our anniversary. And it's been really fun to come up with, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? Last year, we stayed in a yurt. That's one of those round tent things with an outhouse. This year, we have a bathroom. But I would go back to that place at something Hot Springs. I can't even remember the name. But it was really cute and it was super fun. And we went to Lewis and Clark Caverns and we hiked to the music stones. It was really cool. So this year we are going in a different direction, a little further south instead of southeast. And we're going to Nine Pipes. We're going to be out on the reservation. And they have a bird refuge. And they have a bison refuge. And they have, which I heard the bison are rutting, so they say stay in your car. So we will definitely be staying in our car. I don't need to run into a bull who's feeling mean. Thank you very much. I live with my dad. I don't need to go see it elsewhere. He's not a happy camper, so I can say that. All right. 'Tis the season. Where is it? 'Tis the season. Here it is. 'Tis the season. Actually, I think I'm going to do Christmas Joy on this one. I like that. Christmas Joy. So, tap, tap, tap. You can twist, tap, 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 twist. This is a totally new kind of ink pad. Here we go. Ta-da! I love the font. I love the big letters. You could color them in if you want to. I'm not going to, but you could. All right, so we're going to glue this one down. All right. Hello, Shelly Lee Designs. I think it is one of the prettiest ones too. I would have to agree. I love the dies, and you'll see those here shortly. And the whole time, when I show you my cards, you'll see the whole time that I was creating last night and a few nights ago, I was creating and I thought, I wonder if these would work with the impression plate. But I didn't stop to actually do it because there was nothing on the labels or anything that said it was impression dies. So I didn't do it. And then today I start working on prepping for the class and it's impression dies. So I'll show you what they look like without using the impression, which are still beautiful. And then what it looks like with the impression dies. I was like, oh, June, why didn't you just stop and check it out? But I didn't, and that's on me. That is totally on me. I could have looked deeper. I could have done some research on the computer and gone to the store to see if it said, but I didn't, and that's on me. So my cards, I still think they're gorgeous because this set is amazing. However, they would be more stunning with the impression dies used. So I had these here, but I don't know that I need them because of this. So I'm going to move those aside. We're going to go ahead and bring these in. And what I do, and I didn't on these. You can do this two ways. I like to often just use my thumb and just curl the tips up, or you can use your bone folder to do it. I find the bone folder, I don't know, I find the bone folder a little bulky. These are not individual leaves, so I just really want the tips curled a little. And so I'm just using my thumb and kind of stroking it along the flower leaf petal and just pulling it up a little. I don't want them super curled because they're not the individual leaves. And you'll see on the cards, and when we do the next card, you'll see what I mean by that. I just want a little bit of curl, okay? Just a little bit of curl, not a ton of curl. And then on these leaves, I'm also going to, and I apparently, wrong end, make sure you do it. This is the top end because you want to look at the vein. Look at the vein on your leaf so you know which end is the top. That took me a minute or two when I was playing with this, so I might as well share that little tidbit with you. Look at which way the veins are going to see which way the leaf should be going. Because I thought this was more pointy, so it should be the outside, but because of the veins, it's not. All right, so there we go. Maybe I'll just do these a little bit too, because pine boughs, pine pieces, pine branches, these aren't even boughs, are they? Would you call these boughs? They just look like little pine pieces. All right, so we're going to stick these on dimensionals. Oh, here's one over here. Put everything on dimensionals. We're going to use our regular dimensional size for our flowers, and then we're going to use minis for this. Let me get a quick drink of water. Let's see. So we'll do this. We'll flip this over. So we're going to just put dimensionals on the back of all these different leaves. So this was the first card. When I cracked open this thing, this was the first card that I made, and I liked it. So this is not a set that I'm using for Card Club or anything, so there's no class. And because Stampin' Up! Has done a craft class, I kind of don't duplicate theirs because they have, you know, they have their designers making the cards, so I don't compete with that. But I do offer to send you the ingredients to make the cards. So we're going to put this right about here, and we're going to put this one, let's see, I don't have that one. I want to do that one there, and then we're going to do this one over here, and then we're going to fill in with our leaves. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and take, where's my take your pick tool? It's a lot faster to pull these puppies off with your take your pick tool than your fingernails, by far. Remember, the first time I saw someone do that, I thought, oh my gosh, that's probably one of the best uses of this tool. Sprigs. There you go, Shelly. That sounds like a good one. Sprigs. I like that. I like that. All right, so we're going to stick a leaf. Ooh, I think we're going to stick a leaf over here. And we're going to stick a leaf. Oops, wrong way. See, you got to make sure you watch which way the veins go, right? Which way do the veins go? This is sticking to me. And do another one over here. Another one over here. And another one over here. And then we've got some of these over here. Put one over here. This is why we do just the little oh, my words are failing me. Gotta love menopause, huh? All right. Do we want it over here, or do we want one down here? I think we want one right there. All right. So we put our sprigs. Woo! Woo, I'm having a night. We put our sprigs over here, but we need to add some bling. It is Christmassy, so we need some joy. And I'm going to just use a bunch of small ones. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put them with the yellow. Nope, they're going to cover the yellow. I take it back. Put them right here. Do that. Let's get a big one or two in here. Really like the big ones when they're peeking out. I love it when I can make them kind of peek out of something like that. We'll have it peek out from back here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got to go with an odd number, right? So we're going to do one more large one peeking out over here and just adding a little bit of sparkle to our card. All right. Do you have a preference? Do you like the lighter one better or the darker one? I like them both. I like them both. I do like the fact that I stamped these here instead of adding this die cut. I didn't care for that edge on there. I wonder if my camera needs to be cleaned. It just looks blurry to me. All right. Thank you, Shelly. I appreciate that. All right, let's look at the next card because it's a fun fold that I just happened to see yesterday on YouTube, and I just immediately jumped on it, knew that I had to do it for this card, and I wanted to do it a little bit different colors instead of traditional. When it comes to Christmas, I tend to go traditional colors, but I totally went outside the box on this one. This was from a UK demonstrator whose name I can't remember now off the top of my head. And she did this a few years ago. One spring, she did it as Easter cards. And so this is so cute. And I decided to go with a Berry Burst card base. And then I'm using the, this is out of the Scallop Blooms. Oh my goodness, where are my words? I didn't, oh, no, Scallop Bloom Dies. I didn't write it down. This paper is the in color paper. And when you open your card, it does this. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I just thought it was so cute. Now, what I did discover is that it is a little bit too tall because it is 6 inches. So you will have to create a different envelope for it. If you have the envelope board, that would be easy peasy to do. And if you don't have it, then you could stick it in like a 6x6 square card. That would work too. Or you could put it in an envelope. Well, you wouldn't be able to, you would have to shorten it to put it in one of the A2 card envelopes. So, but let's just see how to make this. All right, so what I did is when she was making it, I did myself a template out of old cheap cardstock from Michael's, Joann's. This is before Stampin' Up. Before SU time. So I just did that and I just wrote it out on there. That's what I've been doing for templates now, is using my cheap, really thin cardstock. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we go. So we need a paper trimmer. All right, I'm going to give you the measurements. I don't have them written down and they won't be written down. So you really have to, if you want them, you'll write them down, and I will show you this at the end so that you can write it down. So the card base is 8 1/4 by 6 inches. All right, 8 1/4 by 6 inches. Then we're going to score at 3 inches this way, and at one end at 3 inches this way. All right, so we've essentially made a cross 3 inches, 3 inches. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to do a little tick mark. Where's my pencil? So we have to do some diagonal lines, right? Because we have to create this piece right there, that little arrow type thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to do 3 3/4. And then you're going to line it up. If you have a long enough lead, which I don't, you can mark it in there. I have to eyeball it and to put just a little bit of a mark right here in the center of that 3-inch line at 3 3/4. Then you're going to measure 5 1/8, so push it out to 5 1/8 over here, and you're going to do a little tick mark at the top where the cutting groove is and at the bottom where the cutting groove is. And then we're going to we're going to do a, wow, where are my words? Score line. Score line, that's the word. From this tick mark to this tick mark. All right, so we're going to line it up in here. You want it in the track, and you're going to score all the way up. Then turn it and do the same thing from this tick mark to this tick mark. We're going to score. Make sure it's in the track. And you're going to score. All right, and that's it. So one more time, the whole thing is 8 1/4 by 6 inches. You're going to score at 3 inches the long way and 3 inches at one end. Then you're going to make a tick mark on the 3-inch line at 3 3/4. Then you're going to do a tick mark at 5 1/8 top and bottom. All right, so then we fold. So first you're going to fold this in like this. You're going to fold along the 3-inch line over here. Then you're going to push this in like that, and this side in like that, so that, did I do it the wrong way? I did it the wrong way again. All right, so it goes this way. I did that yesterday too. All right. So it's going like this, and then you're going to fold it together. So this comes together, and then fold it down like that. All right, so that it's a square on top of your rectangle. And then you want to burnish it. Make sure not to burnish where you have paper underneath, because that will show up. So I want to burnish on each side, burnish down the center, burnish up here and here, here and here. All right, there you go. And now you have your card. All right, now to decorate it, lucky us, this square right here, this square is actually the large square of the stylish dice. How awesome is that? That just made life so much easier for decorating this. All right, so we're going to be putting that here. Now, if you have a directional paper here, when you cut it and you lay the die on it, you're going to want to make sure you know, if you have a pattern, I don't have anything directional right here, but if you have something directional, you want to make sure you're putting this on that paper so that your scene is going across this way, because it's going to be right here. So make sure if you have directional paper, you pay attention to that. All right, did I get that in there? All right, so we're going to put this here, and we have some more. We have another one. Didn't I cut two? There it is. All right, so we're going to have this here, and this goes here, like that. And then this, what I did is I cut it just a little bit shorter than this, or narrower. So this is 3 inches, right? So I did it at 2 3/4. But what you have to do is you have to pull it out like this. Oh, wrong side. I did it at 2 3/4. And then I pulled it up a little bit like that. And then I marked it here on the sides, cut it so that it would fit. Angles are always tricky. And then once you have one, you just put it on another piece of paper and cut it down so that you have both sides. All right, so this will be under here, and this one will be here. All right, and as long as you put the two sides that you want to show together, it will come out. All right, so let's go ahead and begin decorating. Here's my glue, because then I have some fun cards to show you. Some of the other cards. Well, and I'm excited to show you the impressions dice for this. And you'll be able to see the difference between doing with the impression dies and without the impression dies, because this one is just the regular die cutting. And then I'll show you, after using the impressions plate, what the difference looks like. And I think you will like the look. All right, here we go. Then, there we go. Then we're going to put this one here. Backside is really pretty too. It's all the flowery paper that goes with the blooms, the scallop blooms. And it's got the gold, it's got all the in colors. It's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I just wanted those scallop dies, so that's what I did. I got the scallop dies. All right. Okay. Oh, I forgot to cut the inside. So in here, I did the inside, and that is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, because I wanted a very narrow edge here. So let me grab some white. What do we have? White. 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and I did it twice. I decided not to do the angle inside because it's covered up. If you open it all the way, it's covered up anyway, so I just did it like this. All right, so we will do 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and another 2 7/8. All right, there we go. All right. All right, here we go. Wrong way. You'd think it was a square, it wouldn't be the wrong way, but you saw it didn't quite match up. So what we use? We used the green, Granny Apple Green on this one. Have my circle. I did Most Wonderful Time of the Year on the front circle in Granny Apple Green, and then on the inside I did the 'Tis the Season. There we go. Love Granny Apple Green. It's funny though, because I don't necessarily think of it as a Christmas color, but lately with, you know, a lot of people using pinks and brighter greens and things, I thought, oh, well, this would be a nice twist on a Granny Apple Green, using the Granny Apple Green. There we go. There we go. All right, we're going to put dimensionals on this. Where are my dimensionals? There we go. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do some die cutting with the impression plate. So first, with the the foil, you don't need to use the impression plate for that one. So we're going to cut out one of these on here. And that's just regular, because the foil picks it up so nicely. And with this, I definitely run it back and forth so that it gets a nice look. All right, check that out. Isn't that pretty? Woo! Love it, love it. All right, and then on this one, we're going to do the impression dies. And I am learning that these don't necessarily all go together, but all my flowers, I've used all 4 of them together. So that's what we're going with. We're going with them all 4 together. And when I finish that class and see how they made the cards, then I'll know how it was probably supposed to go. But I just did it my way. Isn't that a song? I did it my way. All right, I've tried this. I know these all fit on here. Now I just have to remember, how did I put them on there? There we go. Maybe that was how. Okay, come on. I know I had them all on there. Let's see. Maybe it was diagonal. There we go. There we go. All right. Now it's working. Oh boy. I should have pinned him down. It's a puzzle game. Do you like puzzles? Let me know if you like puzzles, because this is a puzzle game. Let's see. Maybe this way. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. I got it. All right. I got it. I got it. They're going through. They're going through. So here we go. First, oh man. All right. I forgot to spritz it. That's what you have to do first, but I'm laying them down so I know how it went. All right. So we're going to take our spritzer. Some of you are probably saying, June, you forgot to spritz it. You're right. So we're going to take our spritzer. I'm going to do it over here because I don't want to spray everything. I'm going to use my thumb because Cindy was saying that you should use your thumb. You have more control. So I'm just going to spritz the paper. That helps it break down a little bit. All right, so we'll put these back on here. And put this one over here. And this one. All right, there we go. It worked. Ooh, it's way easier. All right, here we go. We're going to run it through. All right, we're running it through. And then we're going to run it back to us. Okay, that way you make sure you've got it well die cut. All right, the other thing is, it doesn't matter if they come out like this, but you want the paper to stay in there. Because now you're going to take all the clear stuff off and you're going to lay those down paper side up. All right, lay it down paper side up, paper side up, paper side up, like that. All right, you see that? Then we're going to take our impressions mat, lay it on top, make sure you've got your logo side up. All right, lay this on top, and now we're going to run it through. All right, and you're going to see that it squishes out the bottom over here. That's okay. That's totally okay. It's supposed to. You love puzzles, Sharon? Yeah, I like doing puzzles too. We're trying to get we're in the new house, and there's a room that we could use as a game room and a puzzle room, and Mom has a card table that we can just have permanently set up in there. We would have to roll the puzzles up each night because of the cats, but otherwise we could totally do it. All right, are you ready for the magic? Are you ready? You can already see how it's kind of poofy and puffy in there? And there you can see how it's a lot more detailed. Let's push these through. And look at that. All right. Here we go. Push these through. Look at that. Look at the detail, the puffiness, the coming alive of this piece of paper. Love this. And I keep kicking myself all day long. It's like, oh my gosh, why didn't I just stop and check it out? Yesterday, I made 4 cards last night, and I did not stop. I had the thought, and that's as far as that went. Just the thought. So let's put this card together. Oh, forgot the green ones. So here we go. Need the green leaf, spritz, green leaf, run it through. Oh, that almost went off. Did you see that? I caught it. Here we go. That's the way it's supposed to be. Using a scrap. That's a good way to use up your scraps, is for die cutting. There we go. Run it through. We want to keep it in the die, remember. Keep it in the die. We want to keep it down in there. Take the clear off. Put this on with the logo up. And then you're going to run it through like this. And then run it back. And remember, this is okay. It's just getting squeezed out. It's silicone, so it doesn't matter. You like that, Sharon? Did you get the impression mat? who has the impression mat? Let me know in the comments if you have the impression mat, if you're loving this. All right, so then pop that out. Come on, here we go. Here we go, like that. And then here is the metal one. So you can kind of see the difference between the two. Okay, this one's a little flatter, but because of the metal, it's okay. They don't all have to be that way. All right, so now we're going to trim this right here. All right, like that. And then we're going to trim this one also right here. And we're going to trim off this piece. All right, so what I did is I just took glue dots. Where are my glue dots? I just took glue dots and my take your pick and just put them right here in the center. To me, that was the easiest way to put these flowers together. Now they're already kind of curling up, and because they are done with the impression, I don't want to run my bone folder or my fingers necessarily over them. They're already kind of curled because of the paper, so I feel like they're curled enough. Oh, I didn't need this one. We're doing it different. We're going to go ahead and use the gems. So here we go. All right, so here we go. This and that and that. All right, so I've just been kind of lining it up to where it fills up a space. I don't know for sure how they go together. Like I said, I haven't finished that part of the class. I just filled it up because there's always a lot. So there we go. All right, maybe we will curl these just a little bit. Put a little curl in them because they seem kind of flat. But I'm not like running them. I'm just kind of pulling them forward a little bit. If you can see that. All right, we'll put some gems on that in a minute. All right, so we're going to first put dimensionals. Where's my large ones? Dimensionals on the back of this. I'm going to do 2 dimensionals like this. All right. And then we're going to use a little bit of glue right here on the edge of the leaves. I don't want the whole leaf done because we're going to kind of curl those up a little bit as well. We're going to stick that in here like this. And then this one, we're going to trim off this edge. And we're going to, again, put some just there on the base. Ooh, I'm kind of zoomed out, huh? I haven't seen anyone say, June, zoom in a little better. All right, not yet. It's been an expensive summer. Oh, that's not a good thing. All right, and then we're going to pop this one right here. So we're trying to hide. We want the green to show, but we're hiding the stems. All right, same with this. We want to cut this off. There we go. And I think what I did, which one did I use? Oh, I used this one down here. So we're going to also just kind of curl the ends a little bit. We're going to put this like this. So just at the base of the leaves is the only place I'm putting the glue. All right. Then we will bring in our circle to hide that. And then this one, we're actually cutting them off and sticking them. That way we can stick them around and they don't have to be all right next to each other. All right, so this one we're going to put over here. This little one, oops, wrong side. Almost put it on the wrong side. We're going to do this one right here. I'm going to put it under these greens. There we go, like that. And then the last one, we're going to stick that right up under here. Okay, and now let's put some gems on there. All right. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 right there. And then I think we're going to do 1 and 2. So we have a total of 5 there. All right, so there is our card. This is the difference. So this is the pale pink, and this is the bubble bath, or this is barely blush. I think it's almost too pink, but it just depends on your taste. I think this color worked out better with the, what are my words? Where are my words? I think this color worked out better with these, with the Berry Burst colors. All right, but this would be very pretty and very elegant on something not as bold everywhere else. All right, but you can see the difference in the petals. Do you see the difference in the petals? Oh my goodness, completely different. Look at those leaves. Look at the petals. This one is just die cut, still very pretty, still very lovely flower. And this one, ooh, looks like this. Oh no, that's attached. I guess I didn't cut them apart. And this one though, those petals, everything is so much puffier. The leaves are puffier. Super, super duper pretty. Oh my gosh. All right, so let me show you. So there's those 2 cards. Where are the other 2 cards? And then here are these 2 cards. All right. Oh, my dog just startled me. All right, let's zoom out because you can't see them very well, can you? All right, so then, where are my other cards? Oh, here they are. I'm like, wait, I know I made more cards. So this was another card. This was the second card I made. And you can see each time I used all the leaves because I thought they just all went together. I think it's only 2 of them at a time. So this one I then used the leaf hybrid die embossing folder. And so there's that card. And this is that gorgeous bright paper that we have. So we'll do that. And then I did another fun fold. This is, I think, a double gate fold. And I used Wink of Stella on there. And it goes like that. So it stands up like that. All right. And then I did another fun fold because, hey, you know, I love fun folds. So this one, I also used the brighter colors. I used the Granny Apple Green and the Poppy Parade. And then I used the gold ribbon. And that one stands like that. It's, I think, called a bridge card. And then I did this card, which I think is absolutely elegant. Look at that. Now, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, can you imagine how that would look if it was with the impressions one? So then after I learned how to do that, then I made another one with silver, and look at the difference. Still beautiful, still elegant, next level with that puffy, with those puffy petals. All right, super pretty. All right, so there, my friends, are some cards using a stamp set that I am totally crushing on. And I will be back again next week. I'm curious as to which one do you like? Which one are you going to go and make, and see what you think about whether you prefer it with it being using the impression plate or just running it through the die machine as is. Both work beautifully, as you can see, because I didn't start using the impression plate until today. So, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Now go give your supplies some love, and I will see you back here next week for another Junebug's Creative Crush, so you can see what I'm crushing on and what you can create with it. Have a great rest of your Thursday. See you tomorrow for Paper Pumpkin Playdate, except it won't be live. It will be a recording because I will be on my anniversary trip. So I'll see you tomorrow for Paper Pumpkin Playdate at 3:33. And I've got 5 cards for you. 5. I know, that's the most I've ever done on a live. And then on Tuesday, I'll see you live for our Kit Together Tuesday with one of the new kits. Yay! Have an awesome weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.